G'day mates, it's the Doctor here, and today I'm with my good mate Gryken to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale and the state of Duel Links right now. So, will we talk about like Zexal the anime, like how we thought of Zale at the time when it came out, like right after 5Ds, which many regard was the best series, and then Zale came out and what are these kids doing in our adult show? Because, I mean, we all thought Yu Gi Oh! Was like for grown ups, right? Like the pharaoh, Egyptian gods, all this mythology and stuff.
I didn't, but I've always held the opinion that Yu-Gi-Oh is for kids and it can be enjoyed by people of all ages. But they certainly took a more mature tone with 5Ds, and then they just kind of backtracked.
Yeah, they tried doing that with Vrains, and we've already talked about Vrains on another vlog we done that's already on my channel. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale. I'll start what I thought of Zale when it came out. That honestly, I pretty much watched it because it was Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't find the characters that interesting, and of course, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Without the cards. So how are the cards in it? And well, Yuma had cards that were like based on Japanese sound effects, like ga, go, with like pow and wham. I can't remember like all of them, all the different sound effects. Like Zubaba, that must be like its own sound, which is just weird saying in English.
Still better than Performer Power, though.
Oh my gosh, the circus ones. Um, then again, it's baby talk. Ga 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 ga.
Actually, I think it's based off comic book noises like
Yeah,
pow, pow,
exactly.
pow. Yeah, so
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like the manga.
yeah.
But I had something funny I was gonna say. Maybe we'll come back later. So there was Yuma's cards, and well, the best one by far is Galaxies, like the most popular. Maybe not the best, but you know the most popular.
Is it?
Yeah, because there are players. When I went to tournament, which we won't give away our location. There were some players that played Galaxies and combined like Galaxies with Cyber Dragons for like rank 5 into like Dragon Infinity Nova. Like I'm sure you guys know the one I'm talking about. That crazy combo.
I mean, yeah. Now that you talk about that, I can't really think of any Zexal era, like at least regards to anime, any Zexal era decks that have still see like competitive use.
You know, that's actually a good point. Maybe Galaxies are the ones to survive all this time. Like they kind of
But
niche.
it was just one duelist and it was a fun deck, right?
Well, there's a few. There's a few actually.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I've never gone up against one before.
Oh, all right. But that's an interesting point. Like, how the anime, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale cards from the anime, how they've aged. Because, like, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh!, like, Konami always wants to, like, milk the original series as much as they could. That's why we keep getting Dark Magician and Blue Eye support. But, I do think they need to give, like, other decks a chance. And thankfully they did with, the Trains deck we talked about before. Like, there was a guy named called Michael who used a train deck and won the entire tournament.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Honestly, trains probably see the most use still because they're very enjoyable. Like I've never gone up against one, but I hear that there a lot of people use them.
Not a lot, but yeah, just think about like trains. Trains are competitive now. And it is thanks to the legendary duelist set Sisters of Rose. That's the one that really boosted trains. And I imagine we'll see all the train cards in Legendary Duel Season 2, that is confirmed. And we should see Annika Boom in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links at some point.
Yep.
Um, and just to go over some of the best decks that would be coming into Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale.
Duel Links.
Yeah, Duel Links. So, Fire Fist, they've already had Fire Fist, and they're going to bring in VXC's cards, so trains, yep. Galaxy, Red Eyes, there's Mermails, Evols, they've already have Evols cards with Tyranno Hasselberry.
Yep.
And I also think they might introduce Math Mechs.
Yeah. Well, at least the ones that they if they haven't brought in the synchro math mechs yet, they will now because if they like have XE's related effects, then they'll probably introduce them at the same time.
Yeah, and I like how in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because let's say there's a deck with not enough support for like a 40 card deck, because in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links you have to have 20 cards like 20 is a minimum now. So now you have better odds of getting the right cards you need. So maybe, who knows, Mathmex or any of these other Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeo era cards would find becoming competitive.
Yeah, who knows?
Alright, so sorry there was an interruption there. I thought there was a glitch while recording. So now we're going to talk about the characters coming into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So they still haven't introduced all the 5D's characters. Like, I know there's one guy who's been demanding Misty with her reptilian cards to come into Duel Links.
Okay.
Like, keep in mind, not all the Dark Signers are in Duel Links right now. Like, they introduced 2 versions of Callan Kessler, 2 versions of Carly Carmine. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that early?
Yeah, and a tad excessive. Like, just one character would probably do.
Also, have you guys ever noticed that Carly's basically a gender swap version of Mokuba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she has the same outfit, same colored hair.
It's not as, like, bushy, though. Like, his kind of sticks out a bit.
Oh, but Carly's female. She's got to have clean hair.
Yeah, so apparently, I just found out this today. It's going to be Yuma, Tori, and Bronk coming out first, and then Shark is coming up later on in October. So that's 4 characters pretty much right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so guess just gonna have to work our way through those. Get all those precious gems, and yeah, just more deck slots. I guess that's really all they are, is just deck slots and gems when you think about it.
I suppose.
And skills, some skills. That's
Yeah.
useful.
It's going to be interesting to see, like, which Zale era characters will be the best. Like, if I have to bet money, I would say Bronk, because he has wind-up cards from what we've seen in the promotion. Like, how many wind-up cards are they going to introduce? But at the same time, if they want Zexal era cards to become meta, then, oh, by the way, we might have gone back and forth, like, Zale, Zexal, in Japan, they say...
You have, yeah. I got it. I think everyone else will get it.
Yeah, just in case. So as I was saying with Bronk, I don't know how many wind-up cards they're going to introduce, because wind-ups were meta at one point in the real world until they got rid of a hand loop, which I think involved wind-up Hunter and definitely a wind-up carrier Zen mains, and I think it should be the other way around, where we still have Zen mains in the TCG, or is it Zen Maidi? I think it's Zen Maidi, actually, sorry. Zen Maidi's banned in the TCG, but in the OCG it's the other way around, which I think is better from wind-ups, because Zen Maidi is a searcher. But anyway, that's just a little tangent about the TCG. We're talking about Duel Links, and I think the point I want to get at is, if they're going to be Zexal era cards to become like the new meta, Konami's going to need to like a complete overhaul of the current meta. Like, okay, this meta's not that bad because we have a large variety of decks, from Shiranui's, Blackwings, which I use, Shiranui's, Blackwings, Invokes, I hate Invokes, Super Heavy Samurai, they appear every now and then, not too common. What else? There's Ritual Beasts. How many can you think, Ryan?
Yeah, there's a few outliers. Apparently, Karakuri, the puppet one.
Oh yeah, Karakuri.
They're gonna have a brief moment in the spotlight by the looks of it.
Triamids.
Triamids. They're kind of come and gone. I mean, I could have probably looked earlier, but yeah, usually it's like Dark Magician and Blue Eyes are somewhere on the tier list as well. So
should have been counting. Like, how many is that? Blackwing, Shiranui's, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Karakuri's, Triamids. Invokes, that's 7. So that's a pretty good meta, even though Shiranui's Invokes are by far the best. And I think one of the main problems is how there's too many generic traps. Like, we discussed this before, Floodgate Trap Hole. Canadian's sort of like...
Karma Card, that really annoys me right
now.
Oh,
yeah, but I don't think they'll hit Karma Card because it's the newest one. There's Bad Aim, Raigeki Break, Ballista Squad. That's one. So how many was? God, I should have been counting. Ballista Squad, Floodgate Trap Hole, Raigeki Break, Karma Cut. That's 4, and they already hit Treacherous Trap Hole.
Fiendish Strike.
Fiendish Chain.
Chains. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of another card.
Oh no, it's fine. But I mean, yeah, it doesn't destroy cards, it negates it, so you can use it for like another synchro summon or something. That one, I don't know, but the ones that like stop your monsters from attacking or using their effects, so it's I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, it's in a weird state because we've had the same meta for a long time, although, like I said, we've had Trimids now, kind of changing things up, but I don't know. The next ban list is going to be a weird one, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So we were also talking about characters. Sorry if this may be all over the place. So, Bronk. Oh yes, Tori. There was something I want to talk about Tori, who I think Tori is the worst character in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because she is useless. Absolutely useless.
She's his cheerleader.
Oh my gosh, she does nothing.
Every Yu-Gi-Oh! Male character needs a cheerleader on the side.
At least Taya had one duel when she faced
Tori fought. She had a duel.
She was possessed.
Still, it counts. It counts to me.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna take this tool and use it for my own. That's how. Oh my gosh, I just hate her. I hate Tori so much.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's anything you can do to stop him from including her in the game. You know, it'll just.
You know what would have made her better?
What?
You know how in Dark Side Dimensions, Taya, they gave her Witchcrafters?
Yep.
They should have given Tori Dragon Maids.
Yeah. Has Dragon Maids hit the game yet?
No, they haven't.
Oh, do we know what Tori's getting?
She's getting her like fairy cheer girls from the one duel she used, and even Mermaid Knight for like Yumi decks.
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that's another one we didn't cover is Witchcrafters. They kind of have been really the most recent tier 1, tier 0 deck.
Like Witchcrafter, Light Sworn are a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 8 cards in the meta, so I don't know, it's hard to say, like, this is a good meta, like, the variety of decks. It's just, it's been the same for a while, even though Witchcrafters came out later.
Yeah, I would say given that it's quite a balance, there's like a couple of synchro decks in there, there's a couple of main monster decks, there's a couple of fusion decks. I would say that maybe, 2 or 3 of the newest and pretty much progressively throughout the Zexal era in Duel Links, there'll just probably be like 2 or 3 XZs focused decks and in the tier list, and then the rest will probably just be the same as always: synchro, fusion, main monster. It'll just be a mix of everything.
Yeah. Now let's get back to the characters. So there's already 4 confirmed: Yuma, Tori, Bronk, and Shark is coming. It'll be interesting to see if their skills completely change the game. Like Lightwings, for example, are really good because of Harpy's Hunting Ground skill, and Seto Kaiba has Mountain, and they make sounds like the rain's coming in. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the microphone. So we have 4 characters confirmed. It'll be interesting to see if their skills will change the way we play with their decks. Like Yuma, I don't know. Yuma's all over the place with Gagagas, Gogagos, Zubababas, Zexal weapons, Utopia.
Yeah. Well, he's a main character. He has to have plot device cards, and
Like I know Yugi had Dark Magician, Gadgets, and Gadgets. Oh, the Magnet Warriors as well.
Yeah, and about every other archetype as well.
Not archetype, but typing, like Mystical Elf, Giant Soldier of Stone,
Summon Skull,
Gazelle,
Mammoth Graveyard. When is my Mammoth Graveyard archetype coming out?
Oh, you never know.
Yeah.
We already did with Sacred Phoenix, Deep Sea Diva, Thunder Dragons.
I want to summon an effect version of Mammoth Graveyard and ram it into my opponent's 4,000 attack monster and just let it slowly decay over.
Oh yeah, we were watching Simo's meme videos earlier. Yes, why not? Blue Eyes Ultimate Mammoth Graveyard. I summon this monster where its attack points decrease and it gets weaker over time.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a card that many players want to pick up. Oh my gosh. I just want to talk about characters for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale.
Kite.
yes, Kaze is the best character because he uses galaxies, and we still see galaxies today.
Yep.
I think we talked about that earlier. There's fire. No, not fire. Burning knucklers are a thing. Like there were those Barrian emperors.
I reckon that if that does happen, that's way down the road. Maybe there's Quinton, there's
Oh yeah.
Quattro,
And
what's the Chronomaly guy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, those brothers, and what's the Vector?
No, he's not. It's not Vector. Vetrix.
Vetrix, yeah. So
That was
I reckon in terms of like villains that they introduced into Duel Links, I reckon our best bet is those because they were kind of like the first major villains aside from Kite.
Okay, to be fair, like you are right that if we were gonna see like Aporia in Duel Links for 5Ds, that's not gonna happen till much later. With
Honestly, I don't think it will. I think they just tend to introduce at least with these. Well, they introduced Sartorius in GX, but and Ubel actually true, yeah, Ubel. So maybe, but like they're gonna have to at some point stop because they can't introduce like 40 different characters into the Zexal.
well, they take their time, but like what I was trying to say with characters introducing into Duel Links, they'll introduce the early ones, yeah, okay, and then the major villains later on, like I think we will get Aporia at some point, especially how we do have new Mechlord cards in a Barai Yellow set.
Okay.
And who was the villain we were just saying for Zexal? One of the better ones. Well, yeah, the Chronomaly guy. There wasn't any major villains until like much later on in Zexal when you think about it. There was who was it? Mr. T with a crash bug.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And what's his little crony called? The one with the
Caswell.
Yeah, I hope they don't introduce him because like he has like 2 duels. One of them's off screen.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, nah, not him. Thank you. And there's a Flip.
Ah!
Don't introduce.
Please, God, no.
Oh my gosh!
Little Weevil Underwood
knockoff.
Parody, yeah.
In fact, with Flip, like he could use sub-terrors.
Yeah.
Like suddenly he has an amazing deck. It's not
or crawlers or literally any like Tindagles, any flip archetype really.
Tindagles will well be for brains.
Shadows.
Shadows use flip effects?
They do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, obviously I haven't faced Shadows even though they were meta at one point in the real world. Okay, we don't want Caswell, we don't want Flip. I can't remember the teacher's name who used the crash bugs, but they'll probably introduce him as part of the story, like slowly introducing into Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale. Aside from that, there was like a tomato guy player. I don't know if you remember him.
Please God, no.
Tombo, like if
no.
you want to attack, you have to eat a fruit.
Yeah, and Dextra and what the big heroic challenger guy, I can't even remember his name.
Fun fact, did you know Tombo was voiced by the Pharaoh, Dan Green?
Yeah, of course he was. Yeah, all those lame ass characters, I really hope none of them get introduced. Like, and honestly, I don't think they will because if you're going to introduce a character into Duel Links, I think they have to have a certain amount of like popularity and then like presence in the actual show. Like they had to be like an important character. You can't just introduce, like Tombo.
Like there was Mr. Heartland. I think he did duel he didn't duel until later on. I don't even remember what deck he used. And then there's Dr. Faker, who funny enough we were talking about, he's kind of bland as a villain. Like, don't remember much about Dr. Faker, even though that's kind of a good name.
Like I said to you earlier, he's a Pegasus knockoff, so he's like, the big bad who becomes converted to a good guy at the end of season 1, and then basically doesn't show up except to help the main characters out with his latest invention or whatever.
Yeah. So Mr. Heartland and Dr. Faker, like the first major villains. I don't remember much of them. I should mention when it comes to the anime that I know we've been all over the place during this recording, but with the anime, like I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale because like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like one of the best franchises at the time for me. Like there was that Clone Wars. I was kind of getting out of Pokemon, and then later on, when was it? It was like the beginning of Zale 2. Like remember they did that?
Yeah.
I don't know why they did like Zale 2.
Well, it's just season 2. Like I don't know why they have to call it that. I guess they tend to do that now with a lot of animes. Like Sword Art Online or even some Pokemon series. They change it, even though it's like the fucking Kanto region still or whatever.
But he didn't do that with like 5Ds 2 or Arc 5 2.
No, but they did it with Zexal.
Yeah, I don't know what the point was. So anyway, I remember some point in season 2 is when I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh entirely, when the same cousins who actually got me into Yu-Gi-Oh, they showed me the Fairy Tail anime, which is one of my favorite animes of all time, because like the dub was just fresh. It was Funimation, and I didn't grow up with Dragon Ball or Full Metal Alchemist, and so Fairy Tail was like this massive fresh take. Like the music is so much better. Like you notice with the dub for Yu-Gi-Oh, like they have to have music like in every scene for some reason. I don't know why, but Fairy Tail was just like the acting was so much better. Like the dialogue was more mature. It wasn't so cheesy or cringy. Remind me, there's a line in Zexal I want to bring up. There was the music, the action was great, and then from there I started like watching every other anime you can name, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Hellsing, Hunter x Hunter. And then when was it? At some point I did finish up Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal does have a really good ending. Like it does build itself up to like the Barbarian Emperors with these sealed mouths, and then there's Vector, who I think Vector is possibly, you could argue, is the best villain in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, because he backstabs everyone. Like I mean everyone. He backstabs Yuma, like okay, he was villain, so he was gonna do it anyway. But then he backstabs his own teammates. He backstabs the king of a Barbarian world, who, funny enough, Vector is a far better villain than the Emperor of...
Don Thousand.
Yes, that's his name, Don Thousand.
Yeah. He's kind of like the Bakura Night Shroud character, even though technically Shark is also that kind of role. But yeah, he's just that villain that doesn't seem to be like the big bad, but then he kind of turns out to be the big bad. Kind of.
Like, yeah. He's definitely... He leaves you more of an impression than Don Thousand. Like I guess Don Thousand's just the king, and I don't remember much of Don Thousand, funny enough, but Vector was just crazy. Like the animation on him, like because his mouth was sealed, they made his eyes so expressive, like so bulging out, like you could just pop them like a zit.
Yeah. I haven't watched much of the later seasons of Zexal, but I know what you're talking about because I have seen some scenes. I did see the final episode where he defeats Shark. That was really cool, and honestly, it's one of the last Yu-Gi-Oh series where the English dub goes all the way through. Because I'm a filthy dub person, so yeah, it's nice that they're speaking in the language that I speak. I don't know why. Like I always have preferred my animes like that. It just kind of immerses you in more, at least for me. So yeah, I was surprised because and it was literally the same time that the Japanese one came out. It was like right around the corner.
I don't know about that. Like the English dub for Brains kind of took its time. Like they were still finishing up Arc 5 because yeah, whatever. But I think what you're getting at with Zexal was that it's one of the few Yu-Gi-Oh dubs that finished.
Exactly. GX didn't, 5Ds didn't.
And they're never going to.
Yeah, no, they're never going to. I know that. Arc 5, have they finished?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
With that terrible ending.
Holy shit.
Okay, if there's any reason to like finish up a Yu-Gi-Oh series early, it's Arc 5. Like, yeah. I want to know what would have happened. Like, where would they have just like, okay, we can't do this. We got to move on to Brains.
Yeah.
Although, funny enough, with Brains, they should just like stop after season 1 and like, yeah, that's a series.
I think the same could be said of 5Ds and Zexal and probably Arc 5, even though I'm never going to watch it.
You think 5D should have ended early?
Yeah. Right after they defeat Rex Godwin. Like, everything after that just kind of petered out.
Okay. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, to be fair, everything does slow down. Which is funny for card games on motorcycles where it's about speed!
Yeah.
Turbo duels! But it does slow down in the middle of the series. But you gotta admit, the Mech Lords were absolute amazing. I can't say certain words on YouTube because my video will be suspended, but what's the word? Whatever.
Taken down.
Nah, not taken down. Just suppressed. So
Suspended.
so it doesn't appear on like the YouTube algorithm or recommendations. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds it does slow down, but the Mech Lords were absolutely amazing, and I did like how all three of the Mech Lord, the members of Alistair, or what were they called?
The Knights of Iliaster or something.
Iliaster, yeah, that sounds right. But all three of them were a form of one guy, Aporia. Like, who are you? I am Aporia. Like, that's amazing. And the fact that, like, at least two of them, or even Aporia as well, could, like, combine themselves to their dual runners.
I actually did like Aporia and the three Iliaster Knights, I'm going to call them. I don't know what they're actually called. I know their names: Jacob, Primo, and Lester. Yeah. Jacob blew me away because he's literally just like Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Like, he wears a mask, he's like super strong, he talks in a growly voice. So I was like incredibly surprised when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! To find out one of the main characters is literally Bane from the Batman films.
Also, I downloaded this video. It's actually not on YouTube anymore, but someone managed to edit the English dub to have the Japanese music, Clear Mind, during that scene where Yusei fought Primo, and Primo it was the first duel where Yusei summoned Shooting Star Dragon. I'm pretty sure I showed you about a while ago, but that video's not on YouTube anymore. Like, I have it, and unfortunately I can't upload it because it will be taken down again. But oh man, I have a piece of history. It's something amazing. Yeah, like, YouTube, get your copyright stuff together. Like, if someone wants to put music over an amazing scene, like I don't know, some crazy rock style music during Revenge of the Sith of Anakin versus Obi-Wan, can you imagine that?
People do that.
Yeah, but sometimes you just get taken down. No.
Yeah, I think it's like anime shows that happens a lot.
Like, it's just YouTube.
YouTube being YouTube.
Like, if they uploaded scenes, then maybe, but then again, you should have like YouTube channels made by the companies to put them on YouTube. So like certain scenes are. Yeah, where are we getting at?
I don't know. We went on a tangent, didn't we?
So what is there to say? I guess we should go back to characters again. Like the main villains. I don't think we'll see like the Freezedon Volcasaurus guys in for Duel Links.
We'll get numbers.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an event like if you have 10 number cards, you get 10,000 gems or something? That'll be a bit better. Like 1,000 gems.
Wouldn't it be funny if Yuma had a skill where he had like all 100 numbers in his in his collection?
Or just go for a chaos number like Utopia Ray or the other Utopia monsters.
Yes, we're gonna have to deal with Chaos Xyz monsters as well. Like they'll hold out for like half a year, I reckon, and then they'll just unleash hell, like literally chaos.
And do you remember when Konami was like really trying to push Chaos Xyz summoning? Like, remember when they tried doing that? Like, this is the next best thing. No one played them, except me with a Heraldic Beast. That was one of my best decks in the Zexal era. Where
that whole mechanic of like summoning Zexal,
breaking
Xyz.
up, ranking up.
Yeah, like we're just summoning Xyz monsters quicker, like just jumping like monsters from your field, turning them into other Xyz monsters, just stacking them on top of each other,
like an evolution.
That pretty much came from the Chaos Xyz monsters.
I wonder if that's what inspired like Yu-Gi-Oh! No, what is it? The Link monsters, of course. That's what I'm getting at. Like, you don't need a spell card anymore. You can just go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Honestly, in terms of like cool game mechanics, I prefer Xyz, like the method of stacking up. I really like that concept of just putting card after card after card on top of each other, instead of just sending them to the graveyard like Link monsters do, because then you can actually still utilize them on the field somehow. Yeah,
that's true. Speaking of which, I should have gotten this card before. Xyz Encore, which is a card from the Dragons of Legends set where you can take an opponent's monster with less attack than Xyz monster you control and it becomes Xyz material. And speaking of which, Negalogia. Remember that card I told you, like, you can detach Xyz materials as a quick effect and send all other cards on the field to the graveyard?
Okay.
that's coming into the TCG. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that. And it's easy to summon, which makes it worse. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale, I haven't brought this up yet. I did talk to you about it before, but in my media class, there was a guy named Hayden who was a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! But dropped it because he couldn't stand Yuma. However, there was a guy named Michael who I think talked about before, who ran trains, and I asked him, like, who do you think is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Who do you think is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist? And he said Yuma. Like, what? And well, that was early this year before the illness struck, and you guys know what I'm talking about. And I haven't seen him since, and I really want to know, like, what do you see in Yuma? Because I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale all around is like the most divided Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Like, some like it, some hate it. I'm like,
Everyone hates Arc 5.
Pardon?
Everyone hates Arc 5.
I think people do like it. It's just the ending was terrible. Like, they say it started really well, but then everything fell apart by the end.
Oh god, I hate it. Yeah, who knows? You know.
Yeah, didn't you want to share a story like Zale was when you were coming back into Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was just saying to you earlier that I came into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So basically, from the beginning of the Synchro era to halfway through Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal era, I was not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. So coming back into it in like 2013, there was just like two new mechanics basically. I need to get my head around Synchro summoning and XE summoning. And yeah, I just kind of felt like a latecomer to the party, like all these decks that were, busting out these cool XEs monsters, and the only thing I really used at the time was Evols. That was my go-to deck. So yeah, it'll be cool just sort of re-experiencing the beginning of an era, like Zexal coming into Duel Links, and yeah, just the game mechanics changing, and yeah, honestly, I was complaining to you about it that it's too soon, but honestly, I'm also excited to see where they go with it.
Yeah, like again, the meta's not that bad. We do have a good variety. It's just stale right now.
Yeah, needs a shake up. I was just thinking that in terms of amount of characters, 5Ds currently has 12, possibly going on 13 if Antonomi's coming soon.
Oh yeah, Bruno.
So like at least that's what I counted in my head, all the characters, including the Dark Signers. So there's 12 characters you can play on 5Ds and Duel Links right now.
Yeah, and there's one guy who really wants Misty.
Yep, one guy really wants Misty. She might come in. Antonomi's going to come in at some point.
Who?
Antinomy, Bruno.
Oh yeah,
we're talking about him.
Antinomy.
Antinomy. Sorry, these pronunciations. Yeah, so I reckon by this time next year, when they introduce Arc 5, please God no, we'll probably have 12 to 14 Zexal characters. So
I do not want Arc 5 coming into Duel Links.
Me either, but that's probably what we're gonna get. So yeah, I'm guessing with the 4 characters we've already got, plus Kite, plus Anna, I guess there's up to 6 potential characters that we might be getting from Zexal.
So, remember there were these 2 bounty hunters working for Mr. Heartland, not just Kite, but I think, yeah, Dexter was like the emo girl who used butterflies, and there was another guy, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. He used bouncers in heroic challenges.
Yeah, these panther-like cards.
Yeah. That
never really did anything, or except, was it Photon Bouncer? I think that was a good card when it came out. But I was just thinking, like, how many characters could they introduce? Oh, Shark Sister Rio, though she's probably not going to be later with...
Yeah, Rio. I reckon Rio's definitely going to be one of the characters, honestly. She'll probably, be at the end of the Zexal period, so...
It's just weird thinking about, like, what characters can they introduce? Like, what characters do we want to see?
And I'm just realizing I should be thinking about Darkseid, not 5Ds. 5Ds came out 2 years ago.
Yes.
So even if... so I'm thinking of Darkseid of Dimensions. How many characters is that? There's...
Aigami, Scud.
Yep, Scud, Mokuba, Kaiba, Joey, Yugi, Taya...
Okay,
Aigami.
Like, if they introduce Scud of all characters, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Because God is not even a duelist.
Well, they just had to flesh out that whole Duel Links, the Dark Side of Dimensions world, because there's like all new characters. Sorry. Yep. And last but not least, Sarah. I forgot about Sarah. So that's 8 characters. Basically, the whole character choice selection.
Yeah, speaking of characters with different versions, like Callan and Carly, like they should have done the same with Sarah, who was that she was like that virtual character with a mask, and
Yeah.
she had Duza,
Yeah.
the cubic media thing.
Yeah.
So like I can see them doing that, and they probably bring in like Tristan, because they do have Tristan, Bakura as like NPCs with their own images.
Yeah.
So they'll introduce them as duelists.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, if
can you imagine just weak Bakura, like he's not even Yami Bakura anymore. He's just
I summon this monster.
Exactly.
Injection Fairy Lily.
Yeah. No thanks. I don't know. I don't know if they will, because there might be some just characters who just remain as NPCs because they're so like unworthy, like unplayable, just not worth people's time in terms of.
Like, here's a question for you guys. To leave in the comments, like, who are your favorite characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale? I genuinely want to know. Like, we just can't think of many. Like, Kite is the easy one. Vector, though probably not later on, even though Vector didn't really have a good deck, I'm sure. Oh, what if they introduced number 96?
Dark Mist, yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Even Astral, to be honest. Like, they'll introduce Astral probably.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I would love to see number 96. That's a good villain.
I think that comes up to 7. Oh well, if you count Rio as well, and you say Annika Boom, yeah, actually I can see that. So that's 9 characters that we can.
Do you remember actually when they had like these sacred numbers, like there was Lionheart and there was like one for Kite? I don't remember what it was. I think there was like the raccoon number of all things. Like, first of all, where did these sacred numbers come from? Because they're not ancient cards, even though they treated them like ancient cards. They didn't exist until Astral lost his memories, and his memories became the number cards. Actually, that's another thing. Like, how did characters like Kite gain the power to like take number cards and also take the person's soul?
Yeah, don't question it too deeply. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh plot, mate. There's going to be a lot of inconsistencies and things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Mist. You're right. He's totally going to be there. He'll be right next to Astral, just like on that little wheel of characters that they have. So yeah, like I was trying to say, they'll keep releasing characters until it's like enough that it basically forms like a circle on the selection playlist, because that's what all of them do.
Like, I think I would say like they'll introduce characters in like the first half of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale, and then they'll introduce others later. But it's just not a lot of characters that we want to see. Like, we want to play as.
If you include those 4 the 3 brothers and Vitrix, then comes up to 13 basically of the characters that we've just
True.
Listed. That's a pretty well rounded out. Maybe Dr. Faker as well, but other than that, I can't think of many more that they would include.
What about those characters that play like the fake numbers?
Oh no! I don't think so. Yeah. Like I keep saying, there have to be a character who's relevant to the story of that series.
Yeah.
Like Rex Godwin, Carly Carmen, Callan Kessler, like they drove the plot. Like, they weren't in a whole lot of episodes, but when they were, they drove the plot forward.
Yeah. I guess
think Tombo did.
Yeah, and there was this. Oh yes, there's Remember there was that kid who said Well, I remember the Japanese version. He kept saying "bloody hell" all the time. But he used like heavy industry cards so they could use Infinitrax for him. That's something.
Yeah, he's a cool character, but again, probably not going to appear.
Ninjas! There's a guy who played ninjas. How can I forget about him?
Yeah?
Yes, they have to. Who? I forget.
Kazuke, something. It was like wind in Japanese.
He had Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja. Yeah. They have to introduce that guy.
Yeah, why?
Ninjas, and also part of a story. Like, remember, they don't explain it clearly, but after that duel, that's when Yuma got like this special deck from Kazuki's dad, and that contained, I'm guessing, the Maestro, the Symphony Jin cards. Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Dark Mist, Ninja Guy, Shark, and remember in the tournament there was like Well, yeah, the Chronomaly. No, not Chronomaly. The what Italian number boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we got a good roundup.
Yeah.
Like ninjas, if okay, ninjas have never been competitive, but it'll be interesting if that happens in
Well, they've already introduced most of them, so I doubt it. But you never know.
Yeah, like they won't have their Link monster. Same with the Infinitrax guy. I'll be kind of surprised if they show him, but it makes sense at the same time. And yeah, I think that there's no way they're gonna introduce Kathy Catherine.
Possibly. That's what I was thinking about the cat girl.
Oh, she actually does have a number cat girl. I remember it was like mannequin something.
Did she? I don't think she used it in the show.
No, but it was in like Savage Strike.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Like okay, well, Konami, I think you should introduce more cat girls, even though I don't like cat girls. But I think cat girls is like some people do like that in a weird way, like very weird way.
Yes. Well, because I feel like all these series, they have to introduce basically the main characters, like main support.
Yeah.
So you've got your Tayas, you've got your Joeys, you've got your Tristans. Like
Yeah.
they have to round out the cast, the main cast, and then they include the supporting characters.
You know what would be absolutely hilarious?
Mm-hmm.
They introduced Pip, who was like the opposite of Kathy Catherine, who had like the dogs, and there was that dog like who could open its mouth but couldn't talk. Like she had this deep voice and. Like, oh come on! I want to play a dog. I want to play a dueling dog.
Well, while we're at it, why don't we just get Wheeler the monkey in GX?
Oh, I summon my ace monster, Berserkerella.
Yeah.
Oh, you know he could use like the yellow baboon, green baboon.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Maybe we'll get Andre in 5Ds. You know, it's. We honestly don't know. We're just here, people. We're just,
we're fans.
Yeah, we're just talking to each other. We literally had this conversation like a few hours ago, and now we're repeating it for your pleasure.
Trying to, and
yeah,
I may have to put it in timestamps. So if you guys want to know like the characters, I guess there's no point now. We're about to end it. Yeah. So. What do you guys think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zale for Duel Links? Which characters do you want to see? Which decks do you want to see become the new meta? Any decks you think should get more support, like in the real world as well? Because they're kind of doing that with the main series structure decks, like Gaia, Phantom Knights, not FAs, UAs, the Ultra Athletes. So anything is possible. And how long do you think Zexal will last? Like, I swear when Arc 5 comes out, I'm gonna bail on Duel Links. Like, just no. I don't want to play Pendulums unless, Dino Mist?
Was Dark Side of Dimensions September last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go back and check, and yeah, if I can confirm for you that you have like 1 year left to live on Duel Links, then I'll tell you. I'll let you know. If you've got
to be fair, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Terminal diagnosis.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is really addictive, and I should probably spend my time better.
Oh, you have no idea how much like time I waste at work. Like when people are literally talking to me that I should be doing my job, I end up looking at Duel Links. And
you were doing that this afternoon.
I was, yeah. I'm very rude. Like Duel Links has made me a very rude person. I'm that guy.
Maybe that's a topic for another time, like just how addictive Duel Links is to get all the gems, but hey, if the game can force us players to like abandon the game, like when Arc 5 comes out, maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's Konami making us go cold turkey.
I think that's a good way to end it off when Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links will end. And what do you guys think of Zexal also as a series, the anime? Because it's very mixed, and I'll put it in timestamps probably. So. Until next time, take care, mates.
Bye.